Right, we're going to talk sugar and if it really is that toxic. Do we need to completely cut it out of our diet? Well, here to demystify it is healthy food guide nutritionist Claire Turnbulls. Claire, thank you very much for coming in so you can tell me that sugar's fine. I should pile it on.
I think there's been a lot of scaremongering around sugar recently, from watching videos from the States and various different people reporting on it. It's not itself toxic. It's not good for you, but it's not necessarily toxic. And it's just, we just got to consider how much we have of it. But there's some people that are going to the full extreme and having absolutely none at all and saying it's the only cause of obesity. And obesity there's lots of different things that relate to obesity.
So where does this term toxic sugar even come from? Is this just from the I don't know, the fun police?
In part, it's just one of those, it's just a big, scary word that people like to use. Essentially, there's been quite a lot of research on one of the types of sugar called fructose. And in the States, they use a lot of what's called high fructose corn syrup, which is in their sugary drinks, which are kind of huge in size. And that can be related to a raise in obesity, diabetes, and all that kind of health-related problems. But it's not, again, toxic is just a little bit over the top, and at Healthy Food Guide we're trying to encourage people to take a more balanced approach to it, which is not quite so extreme.
Also, I presume within sugar you've got different types of sugar, whether it's, I don't know, processed or raw, or, I mean, tell me a little bit about there is a good sugar and a bad sugar?
There's lots of different types. So sucrose is your table sugar. That's fructose and glucose joined together. Then you've got the different types of sugar in fruit, fructose, sucrose and glucose, and then lactose and milk sugar. And what essentially we're saying is the added sugar from the white table sugar, the high sugary breakfast cereals and rubbishy snacks and sugary drinks, they're not good. But we don't want people to strip out fruit and low-fat dairy products from their diet because they've got a bit of sugar in them. That's just going too far.
Is it going to, I mean, OK, so we know that sugar, fruit has sugar, fruit juices have sugar in. There is, though, a balance of how much we should have?
Definitely. So when you come back to that 5+ a day message, it's 2 pieces of fruit and 3+ servings of vegetables. Oh. So some people do, particularly if they're watching their weight, may have 4, 5, 6 pieces of fruit and drinking fruit juice. You've
just completely undermined my 5+ a day.
What is
There was mandarins and bananas and apples, and I didn't have to eat the green stuff. But no, you're saying so a couple of fruit and then the rest. What about kids? Should we be encouraging our kids, again, just to leave all processed sugars alone? I mean, the lollies and the fizzy drinks and...
Yeah, I mean, as much as possible, essentially, because the more sweet food that you have or a child has, the more they get used to having it. And if you get used to that sweet flavour, you want it and you're going to be craving more of it. So get used to having healthier snacks because nobody needs that white processed sugar.
You've just mentioned cravings. A lot of people sit there and say, all right, I'm very happy to forego my sugary cereals maybe, but the one thing I won't touch is my chocolate intake. Is that just stock full of bad sugars? No?
Again, it is. It's got that white sugar in it, and a little bit of chocolate is absolutely fine. But again, if people are using it to control emotions and eating it all the time instead of proper food, then that's not particularly good. It's just habits.
So it's all about balance, but don't forego your sugar. It's not going to knock you over if you unless you eat.
Yeah, a little bit. So keep your fruit and your dairy in, definitely.
Thank you very much, Claire Turnbulls from Healthy Food Guide.
No worries.